In today's world where AI is booming and new tools are created almost every day, the information is at our fingertips and data is just a click away. Today, I want to test whether the same AI can be used to clean our homes and organize them. Well, I'm going to be addressing three questions in this video. One, does AI make simplified living possible? Two, is it really giving practical advice? Three, is it a helpful tool for homemakers? In today's video, let's address this. But before we do so, I want to show you the results of the trial that I've already conducted before doing this experiment. This is a space in our living room which is extremely cluttered, messy, and disorganized. And this is the space I wanted to tackle before even making this video. So I asked AI to make a reimagined space of this particular space in my house in order to clean it and make it clutter free. But my two requirements were that I cannot dispose anything from that space and I cannot buy any new set of organizers, drawers, or cupboards. And well, this is what it gave me. And I did my best to reimagine that space in reality. And this is how the real thing turned out. Now, I have a few complaints with using ChatGPT to do this job because it did not pick up many things from the photos. Obviously, there was this one shelf that AI completely removed and it did not notice it. And I also had problems because it was not able to understand the sizes properly. One reason why is because it did not know the lengths. I was organizing all my stuffed toys on the top shelf of the bookshelf, and it told me to organize all the dolls in one particular straight manner. But however, I was not able to do so because one of my teddy bears is 3.5 feet tall, and it is huge and it takes up most of the space, and I'm forced to keep it there, and I have no other space, and neither can I fit most of toys in there. So I did have some complications with that, but seeing the before and after of this particular experiment, I am excited to see what it can do with my other spaces. So let's start. So I've asked AI to reimagine this particular space, and this is how it is imagined it. Reimagined it. It tells me that I need to have like trays, three trays. So one for the water bottles, one for the snacks, and for the other things. Then the things that are actually hanging are supposed to be hanging. That's what it suggests, and that's all. Like that's all. Clear up the space and ensure that everything is tidy. So this is how it's supposed to look before and after, and it definitely is an improvement, but let's see. As you can see, I've cleared the table. The table is clean, but I had issues with the AI itself because it suggested me to use trays. However, I did not have trays, so I had to make improvisions, and I used this old carton box to store all the snacks like this. And that's how I've organized even the water bottles, the tissues. So these are just old carton boxes that we've had at home. And that's one improvisation I had to do. Besides that, you can see that not all the things I was able to clear because there are two boxes of snacks. Then you have one water bottle, like three water bottles. I discarded two, but in spite of that, we have space here. Then the jug, more snacks, the fruits, nuts. Like these things are used regularly, so it is difficult for me to just clear things up. This has to stay. So, uh, from the image, if I show you a comparison, there is no way that I can get the table as clear as it was in the image. So that's one problem that you will face with AI because it does not understand the amount of stuff you have, and it does not do a good job showing how to clear stuff. Besides that, I have all this junk. So like all these boxes, old containers, all of that, and I still have like one packet of, snack like biscuits, or I have to organize, and I have like no space. It just has to lie on the table, or I just will have to squeeze it somewhere. But there is no way that I can get it into some sort of container because there is no space for the container. So like, that's another problem that I'm facing. That's gonna be a problem. So I'll probably just place things like this for now. That's all. And these things I will have to get rid of, though eventually in the plan there was no getting rid of stuff. So I've done something. So like I found all these plastic covers, right? And like I rolled it up like tissue paper and put it in the box. I'm gonna keep it in the kitchen. So like these are things that the AI did not tell me, but I thought of doing it. So like you have the old tissue box. I put all the covers inside, so it's easy for a person to grab. So I'm gonna probably keep it in the kitchen when we have like things to throw out, like garbage to throw. And I've done the same with like cloth bags as well. So like you can pull it out and you have like a cloth bag that's there. And the rest of these things, like I will have to throw out like these things, old pots. And so this is how the space turned out. Moving on to the next space. Another improvisation I made is hanged up all the bags. So they one of this and those bags, I've hung it behind my door. So there is the table, and behind my door I've put this, command hook and hung up those bags, and one is just hanging on my door so that there's nothing hanging on the table. Uh, that's like another improvisation I've made. Now for the second space, this is how the reimagined space looks. So it wants me to only have two bottles, the clock, and a decoration with the clay pot, and everything else to be organized in the baskets underneath and keep the shoes neatly. And this is supposed to reduce the clutter I have. So that's the plan it's given me. Um ensure that have everything underneath so it has a utility space. But again, I will have to make improvisations for the baskets because I do not have baskets, and AI does not get that. So I'll probably have to figure out if I can get more carton boxes.
cleaned the top, and according to the image on AI, it just wants me to have like two water bottles and flower decoration and the clock. And it wants me to make it simple. So let's see how simple I can do. The thing is, this clock does not have a stand. This is one problem with AI because it imagines things, it makes things, and it really isn't possible in real life. I probably will have to just keep it where it was before, like that. This clock anyway does not work, so that's just least of my concern. And for me, like when things are like in the front, I just really feel that the space in the back is being wasted. I really feel that it should be back there, like that. And we still have water bottles that have to be kept back. Yeah, just imagine this water bottle size is to be this so small. This is how my reimagined space has come out to be. The clock is not even like visible. This is how it looks. Now I'll have to tackle this underneath. And I have so many things like stands. You've just not even seen the junk that's there down, so we'll have to start cleaning all of that. I'm done with part of the cleaning. This is how the progress is. So I've put everything inside a carton box and I've segregated things. So here we have all the glass boxes, like the spectacle boxes, and underneath we have the chargers that's in a separate case. It's easy to remove in case we need it, but those are like the most unused ones. Here we have the power banks, we have more inside, like random toys, and then we have batteries, then tapes, and yeah, more batteries. That's also like this is how like I've got one box handled, and that's all. So right now I'm gonna put that inside. Now it looks much better and more like the reimagined space. ChatGPT also suggested me to place all the remotes down. That's something I will have to figure out. I'll probably have to make a space for the remote. And well, that is the reimagined space done. This is the last and final space that I have to clean. this is how the finished product looks. Uh, just to give you a little tour. So I've used one plastic container to arrange all our skincare. That's right there. I've cleaned the box and I've just ensured there are two bottles of what we used and the toys there. Then I've left the decorations as it is. I did not have a lamp, so I replaced this with this. And this is supposed to be a light lamp, but we don't have a plug point anywhere here, so it's difficult to use it. But it's a good decoration, and everything else is all cleaned. This is how the space looks. I will show you an image of the reimagined space and this, and you can see a comparison of the before and after as well.
Okay, so giving you my feedback on the entire experience, using AI, in my opinion, is somehow not really helpful, to be frank, because does it give practical advice? Yes, it does. It really does. It helps you to organize. It gives you steps on how to even begin. I think for most of us, the difficulty in even cleaning is where do we begin? Because we see the mess, it's overwhelming, and it gives us step by step instructions on what to do. Like step one, clean, declutter, and step two, throw away old stuff, segregate. Step four, organize the things you used most and maybe put away things that you don't have to. And those steps are really helpful for people who don't like cleaning. I personally do enjoy cleaning, so like that's not a big issue for me. I already know where to start. But I think it does give pretty good practical advice if you're a beginner who does not know where to begin. I think another advantage of using AI is it gives you a vision of the space. Like many of us do not realize that our space can be used in a much more better way, and because we lack the vision, we fail to clean the space, we fail to maintain the space because we do not see the possibility of what that space can eventually become for us. And for any good thing to happen, you need a vision. And once you have a clarity, a vision, you will want to work towards the vision and come to the end point. And I think reimagining the space and especially generating images is so helpful because it gives you the perfect picture in your mind of how the space will and possibly can look like if we put in the effort. And that gives you a lot of hope because many of us again really feel discouraged seeing the space we are in, and it's overwhelming. You get afraid, frustrated, and you don't see what possibly the space can become, and it's disheartening and you don't want to even start. I think that's a good start for beginners. That's a really good first step that all of us can take, and that's definitely helpful. But for me particularly, where AI didn't uh, work or wasn't helpful was in this way uh, it organizes. Again, like I already told you, it does not understand the amount of clutter that is on your space. Unless you take 5 4 pictures of the space in and around, it will not be able to completely understand of what all the things that your space actually has. And it's easy for it to simplify it in the image. It's easy for it to again add baskets, add cute decor, add lighting, and those things are practically for many Indians, I would say, that's something that we will not naturally go towards. We will not want to buy 10 more organizers just to organize this one particular space. I think that's more expensive, and you'd rather just clean it up a bit and have the things around. And I think AI does not understand that. It always introduces baskets, lighting, all of that to make the space better. but somehow that's not practical. Again, it also, for me, when I was cleaning the TV space, it specifically told me once I was done cleaning and I uploaded my cleaned final product of what it looked like. It told me that the wires were, hanging off the TV. It was not clean. It was not looking aesthetic, and and it wanted me to somehow hide them, which was practically impossible because I would probably have to get some a tube sort of thing to ensure that all the wires are in one particular place and collected. And I think that's just too much of a hassle. Like for us, I don't think the wires do make a lot of difference. It's just the space that does, and I think things like that. But that's like the only things that I have issues with. Again, major issue for me was the resizing. It does not understand size, and I understand that. I genuinely understand that issue because it does not have the actual dimensions of the product, or things that are on the table. So it does not understand what height or what width of each item is and how much space will it occupy. So it's natural for it to feel that way, but in real life for you it is difficult because you know how big the object is and how much of the space it will take up, and you just have this much space. I think a good thing that you can possibly do is partially clean it up, and if you're not able to find spaces to arrange it, then take a picture of it and ask it what you can do now because you do not have space. I think that's a better approach, and it will be helpful. But does AI make, if I had to answer the question, does AI make simplified living possible? Wow, that was so difficult. Simplified living possible? Yes, it does. My spaces definitely look so much better for me personally. Starting the one big place in our living room was so difficult because I always kept seeing it. It always felt like a disaster. I always felt like there was no hope for that space because there was so much junk that we had, and I could not just throw away things because there are many things that we use, many things that we don't, but still I have, like I can't throw them away. So that was a difficult thing for me, and just seeing my space completely reimagined was so hopeful, so exciting, and I really wanted to go ahead and do the project, and I did it in a day, or like just like 4 5 hours I got it done. And I think in that way, the amount of motivation and inspiration it gives you for the space is amazing, and it does make simplified living possible because once you see how a space can be simplified, how you can only have the most important things, and you can declutter, you can rearrange things, you will want to do it because you want to live in a clean space and you see the possibility for the space itself. And I think that's really helpful. Is it a good, helpful tool for homemaking? Definitely it is. I would definitely use it for bigger spaces. I know the video that I showed you comprised of like three tiny spaces, and I just wanted to show you how it would work and how it looks. But it definitely is going to be very helpful if you're tackling very disastrous spaces, like let's say a whole room that's full of junk that you have not cleaned it for a long time, or a closet that is haywire and you have no idea where to even begin. And I think it's really helpful in that sense. And if you want to see me tackle difficult spaces and make more such AI reimagined my space, my home, let me know and I will make more videos like these. But I hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful and informative. And I'll see you